Before any successful Ibex or Marco Polo hunt in the Tian Shan, there is a part of the story that no one ever sees. There's no hunter here yet, there's no trophy, no rifle, only a vast range of jagged ridges so remote that only 5 to 7 hunters get to set foot in this valley in an entire year. And a guide who has to trust me enough to take me somewhere he wouldn't take just anyone. This is that story. You may think a hunt in Kyrgyzstan begins the day the hunter arrives. It doesn't. It began years ago with the men who live in these mountains and have spent their entire lives reading this country and living off of this land. I came here to earn a place in that story, so that one day I can bring others into it too. But getting here is not that easy. The trip starts with a 13-hour shared taxi from Bishkek to Uzgen, crammed in with strangers, climbing over mountain passes, pushing past 14,000 feet, threading through tunnels barely wide enough for the car, onto roads that stop being paved long before they stop being roads. From Uzgen, there's nothing scheduled at all. Just 6 more hours of flagging down whoever's willing to take a hitchhiker the rest of the way into the valley. 19 hours after leaving my home, and I still haven't met the man I came to see. This is Ulan. He lives here in a village near the Chinese border. Ulan, like most other villagers, has his cattle and yak and horses, which he takes into high mountain pastures every spring. And then every summer, he gets his tractor and he goes with his 2 grandsons into the fields near the village to cut the hay. He stacks it under a tin roof so that he could feed his animals when the snow buries the valley in the winter. But what makes Ulan different from everyone else here is that he is an expert huntsman. He knows the mountains better than the back of his hand. Ulan grew up during the collapse of the Soviet Union, when the electricity, the schools, the food supply, everything this valley depended on disappeared almost overnight. He hunted because his family needed to eat. He fought off wolves because the herd was all that they had left. Now he puts that same hard-earned knowledge to work, guiding hunters from around the world. There's just one problem. Ulan speaks only Kyrgyz. I speak English and Russian. And in these mountains, we don't have the internet to translate anything between us. But language was the easy problem. Trust is the harder problem. A guide doesn't owe you anything when you arrive. He's spent a lifetime in these passes. He's buried friends here. And here comes a foreigner with cameras, asking to be taken into the high country. But Ulan and I became good friends last year, even though we don't share a language. I came to his valley several times to film international hunters coming to hunt Ibex and Marco Polo, and right away I noticed something. Every other guide in camp looked up to Ulan as the expert. He always knew where the animals would be, how to play the wind, and how to make the stalk work when no one else could. Ulan saw the footage I shot of that hunt, and for the first time saw his own skill and his own home reflected back at him on a screen. Something almost nobody out here ever gets to see.
How's that feel?
Much better than last time.
This is what the world looks like from up here. Granite peaks that don't stop at the horizon, they just keep going. Ridgelines holding snow in July. Air so thin and so clean it feels like breathing for the very first time. And there are the animals that call this place home. Every time I watch the ibex, I am put in complete awe and wonder, even if it's the 10th time I've seen an ibex do the same thing. They seem to defy gravity itself. I watch them sprint down cliffs, dropping off rock faces at full speed, kicking loose scree out behind them and landing on ledges too narrow to look real, daring you to find the line they just took. Their agility and precision are staggering. A Marco Polo ram plays a different game. He doesn't hide in the rock faces at all. He runs, flat out, across miles and miles of open high plateau, rocky scree, and grassy slopes dotted with boulders, carrying horns that spiral back longer than the animal is tall. At 15,000 feet, where most things can barely breathe, he's just getting started. This is the country these men have spent their whole lives reading, and these are the animals that make it worth the climb. But for the people who live here year-round, this beauty comes with a cost. The first thing you notice about the people up here is that nothing they do is wasted. Every animal here has a purpose. Nothing, not light, not labor, not time, goes to waste. Winters are spent down in the village, where the kids go to school and the days fall into a routine, even if the cold never lets up and there's still no running water. But for 5 or 6 months of the year, they pack up everything they own and move into the mountains, into a life where nothing is promised and every day must be earned all over again. I asked one of them why they keep coming back to something this hard. He didn't really have an answer. Maybe there isn't one. It's just what you do when it's what you know. Many of them reminisce over the Soviet days, when this valley ran as a collective farm. Guaranteed work, cheap food, electricity that you could count on, and a hospital that didn't cost you anything. The houses, the bridges, the power lines that are here are all from that time. Nothing's replaced it since. But talk to the people long enough, and another feeling surfaces. Something separate and stronger than just missing the USSR. It's pride. Pride in being Kyrgyz. Pride in these mountains. And pride in their herds, especially their horses. Even the ones who long for what used to be easier still wouldn't trade it for what they have now. Pride doesn't make these mountains any easier, though. The weather here doesn't ask permission. It can be still and golden in the morning and try to kill you by afternoon. The men who live here don't fight it, they read it. They've learned that you don't beat these mountains, you move with them, or you won't move at all. I learned that the hard way. On my first push toward the Ibex, I fell into the river and came out soaking and freezing, and soaked all of my camera gear, which was in my backpack. The mountains had made their point before I'd filmed a single frame that mattered. I've filmed all over Kyrgyzstan, all over the world for that matter, but I've never felt smaller than I do here. So when a hunter finally does come, when the season opens and there's a tag and a trophy and a story to tell, understand that the story didn't start there. It started here. In fact, it started decades ago. In a way, it started the day that this valley got its name. That's what happens before the hunt. This is the story no one sees.